Jonathan, it doesn't look anatomically possible, does it?
It does not look possible, but blimey, would that come in useful?
And Lorraine completely baffled us, and when I met her in person last week, the accent changes from one sentence to the next. Remarkable. Is she Irish? Is she English? What is she?
Oh, you're awful good, Hector. Just, take your time. That's grand. That's grand. Oh, you're a star. OK, then. I'll see you in a minute.
Hello, this is Lorraine calling from Ignite Pet Accessories.
Thank you, Amy. You're very good.
Hello, would you be interested in buying 2 Staffordshire dogs? They're a one-off item.
We'll shift them out the door for you, no problem tomorrow.
An Irish accent coming out.
I know. Don't take any notice to me.
You were talking differently.
That's my posh voice.
Yeah.
Did she channel different people like a leprechaun or something?
Well, let's ask her. Which Lorraine has come tonight? Which one are you tonight, Lorraine?
The river dance Lorraine or posh Lorraine?
I'm Irish tonight. I'm in great form.
Do you change day by day?
Depends what humour I'm in. I'm in good humour tonight, so I'm Irish. If I'm in bad humour and nervous, I'm English.
There you go. Have you ever heard anyone change an accent like that, Jonathan?
Not quite as rapid as that. When I met Lorraine, and I was a big supporter of Lorraine, I loved Lorraine through it, and I wanted to see her get right up to the final, ideally, because I thought the intuition thing was a big selling point. I liked that a lot. Yeah. And it did make sense, because early on, I remember the task where she spotted the shoes were worth money, and Phil got, let's face it, very lucky with the skeleton. Very lucky. Yeah. 150 quid from a stranger in a pub. You got so lucky.
Now, Jonathan, you've done the same for the boys, had a look through your favourite bits.
So many fine moments.
Philip is sticking with Pants Man. He loved the idea and he's never going to change on that one.
The pants idea was the failure of this task, and that topic was yours.
When you wake up and your belly's rumbling, you gotta dance in your pants till you get your belly filled. Dance in your pants, dance in your pants.
The children don't think it's at all funny.
Put your pants on the right way. Let's do the job for you.
And then you decided to, you know, go off with him, huh?
I thought he'd obviously got a good sense of humour if he thought that was a good idea.
You know, and I admire the enthusiasm. You know, there's an enthusiasm, there's a boyishness, there's a kind of... And there's not the fear of failure, you know. I mean, it's to find a group where someone's you're going to write a song and then perform it, you've got to admire him, even if it's just, you know, just sheer bloody stupidity. There's something to admire there in the folks and going ahead with it. I thought that was, you know, brave, if nothing else. And Pants Man could have worked, maybe.
Well, he thinks it's going to work.
But Captain Squawk wasn't that great, was it? It was a big parrot with a spoon for a hand. And the child, you can see, was terrified. He was terrified sitting next to this big thing.
Well, inside the Captain Squawk outfit was a young man called Ben. Guilty, I'm afraid, occasionally of self-love, wasn't he?
I'd say out of the men on my team, I probably am the best looking. Exercises like that. Get the guns on. Go for a sleeveless top and go for something that's going to be skin tight. Pumped by the end of this.
Ben, how do you feel looking back at those scenes now? Are you seen them enough now to be immune from the pain?
You know, we're 12 weeks in and I'm still cringing every time I watch it back, and they still haven't taken it down off the website so everyone can watch it back.
Jonathan?
I think he has a fine set of guns for a young man. I think Sandhurst are now kicking themselves. And you really should mention that a bit more often.
Also dominating our screens for 12 weeks, Nick and Margaret. They're like the bread either side of Sir Alan's jam, aren't they? I'm delighted they're with us. Let's give them a round of applause. Margaret might have the most mobile eyebrows in Britain, but Nick's got the most expressive face. He looks like he's sucking a lemon in 12 different ways. Some quite brilliant moments here, Nick.
You're a big guy. You don't take the big chance and win.
She's making a complete Horlicks of it. Is he front of house? He's a backroom boy. Do you want a backroom boy? You go spanking in the boardroom.
Hold hands.
There'll be a hell to pay tomorrow. Murder. It's all looking a bit stiff and wooden, I can put it that way. If Neural says one more time, I'm looking to Sal, I'll personally stamp on his foot as well. I watched it very carefully. In fact, I made it my business to watch it for some time.
Nick, how did you enjoy the series? What was your favourite moments?
Quite a lot of them, to be honest. I still rejoice in the high price of sandalwood in the cosmetics task. But my real highlight, of course, and who wouldn't get a little frisson from it, to be ticked off by the lofty and beautiful Deborah. That was a moment of some excitement for me.
Anytime, Nick, anytime.
And then you had Sir Alan spring into your defence, which made a pleasant change, didn't it?
That was a joyous occasion, yeah. I wish he'd do it more often, actually.
He's doing it for Gordon Brown right now.
Very good. And now to Margaret. A lot of women of a certain age adopt a kind of regal air, but with Margaret it is very appropriate as far as we're concerned.
This must be one of the most stupid activities they have yet engaged in.
Her eyebrows raised. I thought they were going to go around the back of her head at one point.
What's the chap that got a scholarship to Sandhurst for his leadership qualities?
He didn't actually go there, though, did he?
Well, no.
I love Margaret.
I want her to be my grandma.
Tough but cuddly.
Never before in the history of car washing have so few cars been washed by so many people in such a long time. I'm speechless. I'm still waiting for the explosion.
What was your favourite moment, Margaret, of the series?
Well, as with Nick, there were many, but I think James has to take the credit for my favourite moment, and I think his antics in the birthing pool, which probably were the strongest argument for birth control seen on television.
Margaret, I'm afraid you've got some sad, not to say devastating news for us, that I'm afraid she won't be doing next year's Apprentice. Margaret, why on earth not? Don't leave us, please. We can't do without you.
Are you pregnant?
I think that's unlikely.
So, Margaret, what are you going to do? How are you going to spend your time?
I'm going to continue with my much-delayed PhD studies in papyrology.
We don't know what it is up here, Margaret.
Are you studying to be a paparazzi?
You're going to have to tell us.
Well, it's studying documents that were written on papyrus, in my case, written in ancient Greek, found in Roman period Egypt. So they're about 1,800 to 2,000 years old. And you may find it strange, but I find it fascinating.
Right. That's when they look good in togas.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Margaret, we wish you well in that. And Nick, we look forward to seeing you next year. Let's have a look at you in that selling on television task.
Oh, no.
You really did find your rhythm with that guitar, didn't you?